Okay guys, so I've just been on Facebook, I've just seen a little post, had me really worried. In this post, the guy has a little video of his rear kickstand and 4 snapped Allen key bolts that go through. And in his instance, I think this snapped out on the ride. I'm not quite sure how, but what I am more concerned about right now, right, I need to go through something before everybody jumps on this and starts undoing their rear deck plates and snapping all their bolts. We need to put the brakes on quickly, and I will tell you why, because the reason you got to do it is when you try and tighten your bolts up on your scooter after seeing the post that I just read, you may be concerned, you may be thinking, oh, what happens if mine are loose? What happens if mine are broken? Just stop for a second, because we need to go through why the bolts snap. Now, in this guy's instance, I don't actually 100% know. It happened whilst he was riding, I think. It shouldn't happen. I wouldn't have thought it would happen. But, you know, I don't know. I'm not in this guy's in these circumstances, so I don't want to cast aspersions on that. All I really wanted to say was, before everybody else jumps on it and starts trying to tighten theirs up and getting into a situation that I found myself in without realising, and you end up snapping all the heads on your bolts. So to stop that, this is what my message is about. This is what it's for. I try and keep engaged with the community around the VSETT 10, and I kind of want to prevent you guys from making the same mistakes I did. So, you know, let's learn from each other. So in the actual video that he posted, you could see he snapped it, or all 4 heads are snapped off. Now, the reason being, you would end up snapping your heads off if you try and tighten them or loosen them or change them, because I think a few people have mentioned putting titanium bolts in there, which I think is a fantastic idea. I love that. The only downside is when you try to unscrew them, you will end up snapping the existing bolts trying to unscrew it, and then you're going to be in a muddle. So to get around this, what you need to do is you need to take the deck off. You need to remove the battery. You don't need to unplug it. You just need to lift it out to one side. Then have a look underneath the rear suspension mounting part. Look underneath there. You'll see a black metal plate. Well, you might not actually see it because it's all black under there. But there's a black metal plate, and 4 of the bolts go straight through. They actually screw through the kick plate, and then in addition screw into some lock nuts. So when you try and undo them, the lock nuts won't turn, the screw tries to turn, and then the force upon it snaps it. So you end up shearing all the bolts. This is why I'm trying to stop you all from doing it. This is why I'm trying to make it knowing that there's 4 nuts underneath there, so you don't do it. So get underneath there with your spanner first and undo. Now, if you have, like I did, snapped a bolt in going through into there, your only option now is to try and grip hold of, once you've undone the nut that's remaining on the thread. Once you've got that out of the way, you might have to get them all out of the way. You may even have to take off that rear plate. There's 2 bolts down each side going behind through where the indicators are and the rear lights, and I think there's either 3 or 4 underneath. You have to get them all out to get it out. So that is a rear suspension removal. That is quite a job. But if you do get in that situation, this is the reason why I'm trying to stop it here and now, is that you can get that out, and then you can get your pliers on the bottom of the bolts. They are M6 bolts. I bought a new pack. I bought them from Screwfix, about £5 or £6. Wasn't very much money. And you get like a, I don't know, what was that, 100? No, 50 in a pack. But you can get new bolts, stainless steel, and you can just replace them one by one that way. But you need to get the thread exposed on the underside. Once you have, this is if you have sheared it, thread exposed on the underside, and get a pair of pliers or grips and start working them out. Remember, left is loosey, right is tighty. So in this case, you want to be turning them away so they unthread downwards. not like you try to thread them up through it. You want to unthread it downwards, and you'll be able to clear that bolt from the thread that's in the kickstand. Okay, guys. Hopefully this scooters all the right people. Hopefully we prevent a whole bunch of us destroying our scooters and getting ourselves in a right old muddle, because I really don't want that. We're all part of a community. We're all here to try and help each other. So hopefully this quick message will get through to the right people to stop that from happening, and we can all live our lives happily ever after. EMG out.